All right, radio host realizes he's talking to a serial killer.
Dude, you're a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And you get away with it, I guess, because they're hookers, and so far nobody's... What?
Is this Howard?
Yeah. Hello? Hello?
This was the live call made to the infamous Howard Stern show by a serial killer who had a lot to brag about. The show was famous for having an indecent and raw taste, which made it the perfect place for a man named Clay to talk about the kills that remained unsolved to this day. In this video...
Unsolved to this day? Didn't Howard Stern do these interviews like 10 years ago?
You through the live call on the Howard Stern show and the story of the notorious Storyville Slayer. From July of 1991 to April of 1996, there was a string of killings that took place in New Orleans. There were 24-plus victims found, some that were ID'd, and some that were so decomposed that they couldn't be ID'd.
That's so freaky that you could theoretically know a serial killer, and if they never get caught, you would never know. Like, that's so freaky. Or, like, you could have met one, right? Like, you could meet someone in public that's literally killed people, and you have no idea. Like, because like, a lot of serial killers just act normal.
The police were getting nowhere, not even with a task force dedicated to taking down the Storyville Slayer.
That.
At the time, there wasn't much technological advancement, so there was very little DNA to act on, and even less evidence to go on about. But on the 13th of August...
Dude, like, that's crazy to me. Before forensics, it was probably so easy to get away with murder. Like, before the, like, invention of cameras and, like, fingerprints, you could just walk up to somebody, shoot him in the head in the back of an alley, and walk away. And, like, and they would never know who did it. Like, they would actually never know.
1997, the infamous Howard Stern show received a live call from someone who claimed to have killed 12 streetwalkers. Because Howard's show had a theme of discussing controversies, they decided to continue the discussion with the live caller.
All right, I got a guy on the phone who claims he's been killing prostitutes, and he's wondering why he's doing it.
Oh, God.
So maybe he thinks I have an answer. Is this Ed? Ed?
No, this isn't Ed.
Oh.
You haven't killed any prostitutes?
No, I never said my name was Ed.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my God. Why am I laughing at that? Why am I laughing at that? And it's just, that's just such a... Like, I would not assume that that's what he would say. Oh, no, I never said my name was Ed. Like, what the fuck? Like, you would be like, oh, no, my name is Ed. I wanted some advice on my fucking car.
That's okay.
What name do you use?
You can call me Clay.
Clay?
Clay?
Notice his aggravated tone of voice the minute Howard gets his name wrong. When he said, no, I never said my name was Ed, it sounded like it annoyed him a bit, but he kept his cool. Also, notice how he said, you can call me Clay, instead of my name is Clay. This leads us to believe that this is quite possibly an alias.
This leads us to believe that he is lying about his name being Clay. Brilliant work, commentator. Brilliant work. Brilliant. Bravo. You cracked the case.
His name, not his real name.
Okay, Clay, so what happened? How many prostitutes have you killed?
12.
And you're wondering why you do it?
I have a pretty good idea.
Why? Did your mom beat you? Did your mom spank you?
Was your mom a prostitute?
No. Actually, nothing like that.
What is it, then?
I think I just do it for the sense of the power.
Right.
This is when you know you're dealing with a real psychopath.
Is that him?
Someone who kills with no means or motive. Someone who just kills for the sense of power. But the fact that he killed 12 people of the same profession leads us to believe there could be some secret connection here.
No, I think it's because it's easy for him to hide a prostitute's body because a prostitute will willingly get in your car. If you're going to kill someone, he could just drive away with the prostitute.
The host mentions whether his mother was a prostitute or not because this is a genuine fact. According to the criminology professor Dr. Elizabeth Yardley, quote, mothers can create environments where brutality was everyday and expected. They actively
I can't-
abused or neglected their children, creating deviant value systems in which the abnormal became normal. But if his choice of victims doesn't hint at us, perhaps his method will.
Do you have sex with them first?
Yes, and
And then what, you strangle them?
once.
How else did you kill them?
Well, a few times, actually, most times with a hammer.
And where do you do this primarily?
I've done it twice in a parking garage, and then the rest of the times on the side of the road.
And you're from the New Orleans area?
Yes.
Hmm.
And how, I mean, what are you? You beat them to death with a hammer?
Man.
It usually only takes once, and
Dude, you got to have a lot of anger in you.
yes.
Man.
Well, why do you need to feel so powerful?
He's got some issue with women, but like some shrink's got to look into it. It's not even right. I mean, you might as well just kill yourself if you've killed 15 people. And that means you're heartless. Did you used to kill small animals?
No, I've killed a rat.
Yeah. See, a lot of guys start out killing kittens for some reason.
Yeah, they kill something before they start with humans.
If my kid like killed a kitten or something cute, I'd probably just, figure, well,
Oh,
this-
I'd send him to a psychiatrist. If I had a kid one day and he like strangled a puppy, I would send him to psychiatry camp. I would be like, dude, what the fuck? Like killing a frog or like a rat, like that's different than like killing like a genuinely likable animal.
this is it. They're going to be serial killers.
Kill them.
Dude, you're a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard's trying to wrap his mind around the motive, his reason to kill. What he's trying to conclude is that his reason to kill was just the thrill, something which is a common trait among psychopaths.
Wow. And you get away with it, I guess, because they're hookers, and so far nobody's... What?
Is this Howard?
Yeah. Hello? Hello?
I didn't know this was Howard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Howard.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never killed a kitten.
Really?
Never killed any small animal except a rat?
Yeah, rat's okay.
Oh my god, get back onto the topic about how he murdered fucking 20 people. What the fuck? Oh, you're telling me you've never killed a kitten? That's less preposterous than the fucking fact that he's murdered 15 fucking people.
Well,
Rats I don't mind you killing.
But how'd you kill him?
the rat?
Yeah.
Stepped on his head, I bet.
We had a big flood a couple of years ago, and it's not actually a rat. It's called a nutria rat. And I clubbed it to death. It got in the kitchen at my work.
So how old were you when you killed your first woman?
16.
And you must
Wow.
be a powerful kind of guy, big guy.
I wasn't then.
Right. And when you killed your
At
first
16?
one, did you go in there knowing you were going to kill her, or it just sort of happened?
I knew I really had it planned out. I wanted to do the whole sending clues.
Right.
Oh, yeah, are you
wanted to
in...
baffle people, but it turned out no one noticed for a long time.
Right. Like you killed her on the side of the road?
Her, that was the parking garage.
Okay. And then what'd you do with the body? You dumped that somewhere?
Yeah, actually, I think she's probably one of the ones that they found.
He claimed to have staged his first kill with features that would show that this is the work of a serial killer, but in a bragging tone. He claims the police never thought of it. According to the police reports, the unknown killer's first kill took place in August of 1991, which was 17-year-old Danielle Britton. She was found in a ditch in Algiers, New Orleans, and according to the autopsy report, she had been beaten and strangled. This description matches exactly with Clay's first kill.
He didn't want to be famous or draw attention to himself.
Dude,
But what
if
problem?
he was 16 in 1991, how old would he be right now? Math. 48.
No, that's what I wanted to do, but
Oh, but you did, but no one noticed the clues.
I never sent the clues. I never left anything. I wanted to have my own little signature.
Right.
I wanted the thumb paint
Oh, it's,
with their thumbs.
Oh, really?
what do you want to do?
Thumb paint with their thumb.
Bro, he could be one of y'all's dads. Like, straight up. Imagine you found out that, like, your dad was like, he could be. Like, if your dad's 48, there's a 48, 49. Hey, Dad, you ever go to New Orleans before? He goes. Fucking turns. I'd be like, holy fucking shit.
Thumb paint what, though?
I don't know.
Oh, anything. It was in a comic book a couple of years ago. Just seemed like a good idea.
Like you take the girl you
I
killed, you
live nowhere near New Orleans. Yeah, probably because he moved.
dip her thumbs in paint, and then you do like a thumb painting?
Yes.
On a piece of paper?
Yeah.
It's possible he's talking about the Joker villain from the Batman comics. After leaving the crime scene, he'd always leave his calling card, which many of us know was the Joker card. He wanted to spice it up by doing thumbprints, but for some reason he never got around to doing it. Perhaps he was hyped up with the sense of power that he didn't feel like doing it. It's still unknown as to why he did it and what his real identity is.
Now, after you kill somebody, do you play with the body?
Actually, the closest I've ever done to that is I always make sure I pay them and I make sure they keep their money.
Oh, really?
I make sure I pay them and I make sure they keep their money. You fucking kill them afterwards.
Still alive, but with one of them I did put the money in a compromising place.
I see.
But that was this one. You know, it had a penis.
Oh, really?
It was a guy.
Yeah, I didn't know at first.
So do you ever get? Do you think the reason you're so angry is because you were abused or something?
No, I wasn't abused, Howard.
Where's your family?
You got a wife?
I mean, you got a mom, a dad, a wife, children. You got any of that?
I've got a couple of kids, but
no wife.
Not married to the mother.
Yo, somebody in my chat straight up listening to this and being like, yo, that sounds like my dad.
The person turned out to be a guy. According to the police reports, in June of 1992, the body of a 25-year-old transsexual named George Williams was found, who worked as an exotic dancer at a New Orleans nightclub. On July 25th, Noah Filson, a 33-year-old transsexual who went by the enchanting name Brenda Bewitch, was found dead in the waters of a canal near I-55. The comment about his victim having a penis could possibly mean he's talking about them.
Yeah, Howard, that's pretty funny because the only suspect they had when they started finding the bodies was a black police officer.
Oh.
Turns out one of them was associated with them.
Oh, really?
Are you on drugs?
With this comment, he's referencing how after 3 years of a killing spree, a task force was created in 1995 that narrowed down a black police officer as their prime suspect. That person was Victor Gant, who had an intimate relationship with one of the victims named Sharon Robinson, so there was a connection. Gant had a reputation for being corrupt after several informants complained that he was running racketeering operations against various criminals.
But this guy's bragging that it's not him and they got the wrong guy.
According to the police report, the victim he had a relationship with claimed that he punched her and broke her nose. It looked very bad for Gant, as she should have testified to this in court, but she was found dead on the 1st of May 1995. The investigation claimed Gant killed both her and her friend Karen Evester. And according to the victim's friends and acquaintances, he held a personal grudge against them and spoke negatively about them on multiple occasions. Fortunately, it was his dirty habit of chewing tobacco that saved him, as some was found near Evester's body. They did a DNA test, and it came out inconclusive, so no charges were filed and he was no longer a suspect. You can imagine how much the actual killer was laughing when he saw the police go after the wrong person.
So after you killed the first 16-year-old, like you finished.
No, I was 16.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
She was.
All right. So you finished with your sexual gratification, and then you.
Not always, no.
Not always. You don't even want to get laid sometimes.
No,
You just want to kill.
I'm just bored.
Right.
But does the killing
He's bored, so he goes and murders someone.
sexually satisfy you in some way?
I can't believe Ed McMahon's not laughing.
I've eaten off thinking about it later.
Yeah.
What do you say?
That's about it.
He's pleasured himself thinking about it later.
Oh, he has. Okay. Now, how far apart are these murders? Like, do you murder and then, like, you feel satisfied for a while?
I don't even understand why I do it, Howard. I don't know if I ever get any satisfaction.
But how
the
often?
closest together anywhere was the same night.
Really?
You killed 2 people in the same night?
Yeah, but I went to Mississippi for the second one.
So there's no pattern to how many weeks or days between murders?
No.
Are these mostly white chicks or black chicks?
A fair number of them have been black. The transvestite was black.
You think there's some racial motivation here?
No, Howard, they were just let's just say a Jimmy Swaggart town.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Swaggart town.
Don't know what that means.
Well, yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, but
That's pretty much the area around here where the prostitutes all hang out.
Oh.
I see.
And it's just whoever comes up to you. You don't pick a certain type.
I don't even approach them. I wait for them to approach me, Robin.
And do you
That's
ever
like them asking for it.
We can see why the victim profile is not only consistent, but also changing over time. He put in no effort to lure someone for the kill. He felt as though these streetwalkers would willingly go with him to his place. No one would even call to check on their disappearance. Not only were they streetwalkers, but in the majority of the cases, they had a history of substance abuse. So there's no motive here. He just killed for the thrill and to escape boredom. Clay was truly a psychopath.
do you ever like look into their eyes and go, you know, gee, these people were just children at one point, and maybe they just had a tough life?
I've let a couple go.
You have. Like, what happened? You're in the middle of killing them, and then they what do they say? Why would you let one go and kill the other?
There was this one.
Go ahead.
I think she was probably really new to it.
Yeah.
There was just something about her. Maybe she reminded me of my ex-fiance, but...
Right. You somehow relate...
More of
Oh
an
my
innocent...
God, he's doing this while he's married, too? Holy fuck. How did... Yo, is his fiance the most oblivious fucking person ever? Like, if you're married to someone, how do you not know that they're going out, getting prostitutes, and fucking killing them?
innocent quality. I just...
You somehow felt bad for her.
Yeah.
And you have a fiance, so you're planning to get married?
No.
He had one. You
Oh,
say.
you had one.
No. If I wouldn't be a suspect, believe me, she'd...
But let me ask you, why'd you let, like, did you start to kill her and then, like, you said, forget it? Or you just never
No,
even...
not even.
You just had sex. You just had sex with her and then you let her go.
I didn't even have sex with her, Howard.
Wow.
Well, that's weird. Now that's weird.
I mean, he just really felt sorry for this.
I don't know what...
While we're not 100% sure, it sounds like he's talking about Brenda, who,
Oh, they got a
according
divorce, he said it in
to
the
the police
beginning.
reports, escaped the killer's attempts. It was in July of 1991 when Brenda testified that she got into the car of an unknown man, and after a conversation with him, the man strangled her and dropped her off on the streets. According to the case files, her testimony and description led to a composite sketch of the attacker, and she described that he was muscular, well-dressed, and possibly a middle-aged black male. Now, of course, Clay said that he was a white guy, so it's possible it wasn't him. But he did have the same MO, so that's why we believe that he could be
I
linked.
mean, he could easily lie about his skin color. Like, couldn't he just be like, yeah, I'm white? Or, yeah, I'm black, right? Like, he's on the phone.
To Brenda.
What
He
she was
lied about his name. Why would he not lie about his skin color?
doing what she was doing, but...
Are you a big fat mess?
Doing it, but she got off lucky.
Are you a big fat mess, or are you like a fairly good-looking guy?
I'm not a big fat mess. I wouldn't call myself good looking. I don't know what I'd call myself, Howard.
Right.
You have a decent job and
Yo,
all that?
Howard's poking at this man, too. Like, if I'm Howard, I am not in any way trying to trigger this guy. You're telling me he's gotten away with murdering 15 fucking people, and Howard's like, what are you, a fat guy? What are you, fucking ugly? Like, what's your... Yeah, like, why don't you piss him off, Howard? Jesus.
Stuff?
Sounds like a bright guy.
Not decent like
He's poking the bear, literally.
you have.
Yeah, well, we got ridiculous jobs.
You can't get these.
I don't even know that I'd call this a job. You know what I mean? This is not a normal...
Have they found him? No. Never.
Yeah, this is a job that's totally useless. You know what I mean? Like, nobody really needs it.
It's a scam.
To me, a job is like something like, you know, a UPS driver is a
Yeah,
job.
it's a job.
Not now. Thank you, Ed.
Maybe this is a UPS driver.
Ed laughs, but he has no job either.
At this point, you might be wondering whether this call or this show's segment is fake or not. Many Howard Stern fans thought the same because Howard sounds so calm and even suggests
I think that's just because Howard's been doing this for so long, and he's probably I mean, like, yeah, he's never interviewed a fucking serial killer. But Howard Stern has talked to, like, basically every type of person ever. And I think he's just more curious than, like, concerned. Because, like, if you're doing a podcast and a fucking serial killer calls in, like, you're gonna have a million questions.
Suggested that he strangled them, even though he had no mention of this at the time. This is just one of the points which compelled people to think that the call was staged. But, based on the history we've been looking at, he's actually speaking the truth.
This is always weird, but I'm bringing, at least we can sort of get into the mind of a guy who serial kills. I think he's 100% on the level. So you killed your first woman.
When was the last time you killed?
It's been a few months.
Right.
Actually, it's been going on a year.
You're like the Boston Strangler, man. Maybe I should option your story. So, what do you think you're going to do? Do you think you're going to kill yourself? Do you think that
Are you going to kill again?
Can you stop this?
If I killed myself, I'd miss the next Batman movie.
Right.
Oh my god, bro. What? Yo, this guy is literally at the point of bragging, right? Like, I feel like that's how you know he's a psychopath. That's why I think this is real. Because, like serial killer psychopaths, well, serial killers are almost always psychopaths. But, like, these people brag, like, they're proud of what they do. And he literally just made it, oh, well, if I killed myself, I want to see the new fucking Batman.
You don't want to do that.
No.
As a fan.
Actually, I'd actually kill myself to miss that.
Anybody here have a dad that's 48, 49, and really a big fan of Batman?
Do you want to stay for that?
No, but in all seriousness, I mean, do you think that you can control this? Do you think you can stop?
I think I have been.
Oh, you have been for the last couple of months.
A year he hasn't killed.
Oh, a year?
Yeah.
Almost.
So why do you think you stopped killing all of a sudden?
I really don't know, Howard. Part of it had to do with my car broke down.
Oh, no transportation.
Seriously? That's the reason?
Well, that was the reason for a month, but after that, I guess it was all self-control.
Wow.
Oh,
But
so you don't want to do this anymore?
No, he wants to do it, but he's controlling himself. Like, you want to kill women, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
This part is very important. The fact that he stopped killing because his car broke down will actually help us link him to someone. In 1994,
wait, is this guy about to try and determine who this is?
a person was allegedly found masturbating in his car by the police, which had been parked by the road. This was near the ditch where two victims of the killer named Cheryl Lewis and Dolores Mack's bodies were found. When the police saw him, he was forced out of his car and told to show his driver's license. He explained that he stopped for an oil change and to fix the brake pads, and even willingly allowed his vehicle to be searched. Turns out, there was nothing in his car that proved that he was doing any form of car repair. There were no tools and no flashlight, which would be necessary for repairs at night. He was booked and ID'd as Russell Elwood. He was a native of Massillon, Ohio.
Is this that guy?
Who moved to New Orleans, but lived in a squalor, had no permanent residence, was never married, and used to do photography jobs and cab driving. He was also arrested several times because of his addiction. Anyways, on the 23rd of July 1997, after the task force to take down the serial killer was formed, Colonel Walter T. Gorman of the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office and other task force members traveled to Sebring, Florida, where Elwood lived. During his interrogation, Russell Elwood admitted to frequenting black streetwalkers throughout his life and claimed to know more than 100 girls. He also talked about his addiction, but he maintained an innocent stance. It's a possibility that Clay, the serial killer here, could be Russell Elwood.
And what do you like it? Do you enjoy seeing them struggle as you kill them?
Actually, none of them really struggle.
Do you hit them from behind, or do they see it coming?
I can't get inside their minds, but let's just say I hit them.
But, I mean, are you facing them?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can see their face and everything when you do it.
Yeah. The worst I've ever gotten was one tried to grab my neck. I've never gotten any of the claw marks or anything that are dead giveaways.
Right, you must be very powerful.
I wouldn't call myself powerful, maybe intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose this method?
I didn't, Robin. Like I told you, I really wanted to cut things up, mail things, send clues.
No, she means why did you use a hammer? Do you think you...
Because it was in a book I read.
Oh.
Well, everything's come from...
Cartoons. And, yeah. When's the last time you got laid?
Last week, Howard.
Oh, yeah, so you didn't kill that girl.
No.
Because she wasn't a hooker.
No.
Right.
It's only hookers, though.
A lot of serial killers are only into hookers because they know, A,
Easy.
probably won't get caught, and B, they have some kind of anger toward hookers. Like, did you think your mom was a hooker or something?
No, Howard.
Your parents married and...
Bro, again, Howard Stern poking the bear. Poking the bear, bro. You think your mom was a whore? You think your mom got paid to have sex with people?
Stay together and the whole thing?
Yeah.
Church-going people?
That'll do it.
Well, one of them, but...
Yeah. Religious fanatics give birth to the most serial killers because they're so repressed.
Yeah.
So there's no way I'm going to talk you into giving yourself up or anything, right?
No.
I shouldn't even waste my time. I know I'm going to get calls after this and people are going to go, Howard, how come you didn't catch him?
Has anybody ever been close to catching you?
No. No, actually, someone once, when it was in the newspaper, someone joked to me, I know it was you, but, well, they were joking.
Right.
Yeah.
You think you might be gay?
I hope not.
What? What?
What?
Right, maybe you're a repressed homosexual. Were you ever molested?
No.
Do you have a lot of tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos. I wouldn't do that to myself.
Right.
And do you get high before you do this?
I've gotten pretty drunk before.
Yeah.
A little anal.
Lame.
Still no motive, no reason to kill. Even his killing method is inspired by comic books and cartoons.
Well, I got to say, I wish you would die, but...
Were you ever molested is crazy? Not really. I mean, that's not a crazy question for him to ask to a serial killer, right? Because serial killers a lot of the time have some sort of trauma that triggers them going down a path of, like, murderous intent.
You know, what can I tell you? I maybe this is sort of good that you're talking about it with me, and maybe it'll keep you under... Like maybe I can't get you to turn yourself in.
Like a valve, and he'll be able to go another year or something.
Yeah, but maybe somehow, you know, you won't do it anymore.
What about your kids? You want them living in a world with people like you?
Hasn't really analyzed it, though.
Anyway, I mean...
Yeah.
Kind of lonely, though. You can't tell anybody about this.
I'm the only guy you could... Am I the only guy you ever told about this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I guess that's sort of an honor.
I've told a couple of women, Howard, but,
They're dead.
Yeah. Do you tell them first and then you kill them?
yeah.
What do you say to them? Let me...
Fun.
All right, let's see.
Every now and then you can play the running game if you're out in the middle of nowhere, and we got a lot in the middle of nowhere down here.
Right. So, in other words, let's say you're with a woman, right? A hooker.
Yeah, Howard.
And you say to her, okay, honey, you just had sex and everything. What do you say to her to torment her? How do you break the news to her that she's going to die?
It really depends on my mood.
Just give us an example.
Well, if I wanted to, I could just say Baba Booey, but that would be pretty,
No, come on, be serious. What do you say to him?
I can say you're going to die.
And then what do they do?
I like to articulate a little more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I ask them if they think it's dangerous, doing what they're doing, if they're worried about things, and they'll laugh it off, and that just pisses me off.
Right. And then you go ahead and you kill them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
It is a fact that psychopaths wait for an emotional response from the next person, after which they just snap. In the beginning, they keep a calm and cool demeanor, almost as if they're mocking the other person and gauging their reactions to see how much further they can push. When the other person finally reacts emotionally, that's when the psychopath may raise their eyebrows, smirk, tell the person to calm down, or feign disappointment. In this situation, Clay was so intolerant of her laugh that it pissed him off and he immediately did the deed.
Yeah, well, you know what? All the experts don't know either, so... Well, here's a guy, just another story. He's out there.
You know, it's just, it substantiates my theory. Did you get jealous of Cunanan? Is that why you're talking to us now?
No, actually, I was thinking about writing a musical about Andrew Cunanan, but...
Guy's a comedian, too.
Huh?
Guy's a... Hey, some psychologist is on the line. You want to talk to him?
Sure.
I mean, since you're looking for answers.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Robert?
How you doing, Howard?
Hey, man. Go ahead.
Just wondering, how long did this guy wet his bed when he was a young boy?
Are you serious, or are you just trying to make a joke?
No, I'm totally serious.
Did you wet your bed when you were a young boy?
No. Didn't do it at all. No. Starting fires. Huh? How about starting fires? Sure. Yep.
You did start fires?
Yeah.
How old were you? How old were you when you?
For people that get into serial killing to
Oh, get this fucking jerk-off psychiatrist out of the fucking goddamn thing. Bro, I know I haven't said a word in like 3 minutes. I've just been fucking listening. This fucking dickhead gets on the fucking line, starts asking the stupid-ass questions, but he got a fucking sheet in front of him. I took a psychology class in fucking high school, dude. He's reading off the fucking, the signs of being a fucking psychopath. This guy has no fucking credibility whatsoever. Get him off the line. Howard's asking better questions than this fucking dickhead. You wet the bed? Fucking idiot.
start fires, wet the bed when they're young. Along with the mutilation of little animals, but he said he didn't do that, so
right.
That's kind of something that was missing.
But fires was in your history, right?
You could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of, it starts off as external ways of showing off their anger, and then they move on and go on to bigger and better things, I guess.
Wonder why this guy kills. Do you have any guess?
I don't know. I think you're right on with something with his family, childhood.
Yeah, what's he so angry about?
Right.
Unfortunately, he's real angry, and he's out there hurting a lot of innocent women.
Yeah, what do I do with a guy like this? Just hang up and forget about it, or is there anything I can...
Depends on, Howard, what are you going to do? Of
Can
course.
they not trace the number? I mean, I'm assuming if he's never been caught, he probably has, like, this on a burner phone or some crazy shit.
Of course, you're not going to, like, turn him in, but...
Oh, this was in 97, yeah. But no, but they could still trace it then.
Well, I mean, I would, but I can't. I mean,
a lot of people would want to turn him in, but what can you do? You talk to him, try and...
Somebody just said he could be on a payphone. You think he's standing in the middle of a street on a payphone, actively talking about how he kills people?
Figure out what's going on.
yeah. All right. That's right. Then I'll probably just hang up. Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot,
All right,
Howard.
thanks, man. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mr. Serial Killer.
Yeah, I mean...
Want to give us your name?
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not going to get him to turn himself in. I've had calls from people who go, well, why didn't you do something? I go, well, what am I supposed to do? The guy's on the phone.
Crawl through the phone and get him?
Yeah. They were like, well, why don't you trace these calls? And I'm like, well, I don't have that equipment.
Yeah, what are we, the police?
I can't even get a phone system that works for air. Let alone a tracing thing. Oh, Jackie's back there bumming out.
Bro, that is actually fucking nuts. Like, that's a crazy fucking thing to happen. Literally being on the phone talking to a fucking serial killer.